Welcome back to day 2 here of the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge from Dubai. And today we're going to start off in the winner bracket with round 1. Of course, yesterday we saw Mousesports knock MIBR down into the low bracket on Tuscan. And today we are going to see fnatic take on mTw. Now, over in the interview area, I have 2 familiar faces for you Counter-Strike fans out there. One of which is Khan from fnatic. The other one is Gudo from mTw. How's it going, guys?
Fine, thanks.
So yesterday, Khan, we'll start with you. You lost to SK, which was a repeat, if you like, of the final from Montreal. How did that feel? I mean, did you give your all going into that, considering it was a group game?
Well, I wouldn't say we went all in on that match because it was a group stage, and obviously 2 teams advanced to the playoffs. But I mean, we don't want to lose to SK. We always try to do our best. But yeah, we spared some of the gunpowder, I guess.
So what about mTw? Of course, you lost them in the ESWC Masters final and also the Code 5 final. I mean, are you looking for a bit of revenge here, or?
Well, actually, I think we won the last game against them in San Jose, the ESWC. But I think they are up 2-0 in the last stage matches. So it's going to be a tough task, but I think we can do it.
And a lot of people said in LA, you know, fnatic had lost their shape and things didn't go well there. And then we obviously had the 2 weeks in between. You went into Montreal and you won. What changed in that period? What did fnatic do in that time?
I wouldn't say a lot changed, but I think we had some good team talk, what we should think about instead of just go into a tournament and think if we lose it's a disaster. Instead we should go into a tournament with the mindset that if we win it's fine. I mean, we do our best, and if that isn't enough, I mean, that's it. I mean, you shouldn't be so down if you lose. It's so in the top level, it's very random these days. So I mean, it's hard.
So what do you think going forward into this tournament? I mean, who do you think are the top contenders, if you like?
Well, as I say, there's a lot of top teams there, and obviously us, mTw, SK, IEM, and Mousesports as well, I guess. So yeah, between us 5, I think everything can happen.
So, Gudo, mTw have had a bit of a break from those top-level tournaments. I mean, you've been at SLAP and the World Cyber Games Danish qualifier, which you won. Do you think that's helped you guys to kind of prepare for this one with some smaller key events, or would you have rather been at the top events like Montreal?
I think we'd rather be at home doing our practice than playing these kind of small tournaments. They messed up our schedule a little bit. But of course, we have to win the WCG qualifier to get to the final, and SLAP, we lost the final against the same team, but it was not that important. But I think we would rather be at home and do our practice than play small tournaments.
So in LA, you guys went out in the group stage, which was a huge shock, probably the biggest shock of the tournament. What do you do when your team's down like that, and they're obviously feeling low? And how, from a manager's point of view, do you kind of bring them back up?
You thinking about Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a big upset loss to Paragons of Virtue and Rocket, but it's individual skill. We practice a lot, and we didn't come up to our A game individually, and we lost on some small marginals. But I know we just look into our game and see what went wrong, and yeah, prepare better next time.
How's mTw's confidence coming into this event? I mean, this is probably one of the biggest events we've seen in quite a while, of course, in CSWC. So are you really up for winning this one?
Yeah, I think we need to win this tournament to get back on track. We came on top the first half of this year, and yeah, then we had the big slump. But I think we'll come back now and, you know, win some tournaments again. It's easy to get on top, but it's harder to stay on top, I think. As Patrick said, it's random these days between the top 5 teams or top 4 teams.
Okay, guys. Well, good luck. I'll not keep you too long, so I know both teams are ready. mTw have just come back to their seats. So we'll pass it over to our commentators for this one, Tosspot and Executor.
Joe, thank you very much for that, and a great interview there. And, well, another mouth-watering match in Prospect. I seem to say that before every game, and well, primarily that's because every game has been that exciting. Some huge reputations on the line, some fantastic teams, some fantastic play we've seen so far. And hey, we still got 2 more days of it. So don't go anywhere here on ESL TV. Executor, you were mobbed by the media yesterday as Carmack grabbed your predictions for this tournament. You went for a MIM win. Why was that?
And just like seeing from a history of Counter-Strike, it's been very difficult for a team to get back-to-back wins. And coming to this event, SK has been doing really great. fnatic has been doing really great. I mean, they have been the last 2 big events, but that also means for me that maybe we will see a new team winning, and that's like the basis of my prediction, kind of, is that I think that there will be.
So just because they're a different team and hasn't won one.
Exactly.
So it could be any of them.
It could be any of them, because skill-wise, how can I know like thoroughly who is the best team? It's so hard to predict that. So I'm just thinking about the odds, and right now I feel like it's MYM's turn to win a big tournament.
Okay, so I think we're going to have our team previews for you in just a second as the cameraman gets himself level. And here we go, starting with mTw from left to right. MJE, who had a fantastic match yesterday. To his right is the one and only Zonic, who has been around, well, perhaps as long as the game itself. Then in the middle of the 5, it is AVE, who also yesterday in the match we saw against fnatic played in the match against MIBR had a fantastic match. 4th, it's the Esports Player of the Year. It is Sunder, of course. And last but not least, chatting with the admins, it is Wimp. That is mTw. They, of course, won the ESWC Masters of Paris this year, and they are looking very, very good. Their opponents are fnatic, lining up with, well, first of all, Forest, who Executor singled out yesterday as the man that needs to shine for them. Next to him is DSN. In the middle of the team, it is Khan. Next in line, it's Archie. And last but not least, you can signify him by his lovely red hat. It is, of course, Inns. Now, for fnatic, they lost to SK yesterday, but of course, having won in Montreal, confidence must still be sky high.
Yeah, I actually had breakfast with fnatic today, and we were talking a bit about the game and how they were feeling. And of course, they were a bit disappointed I didn't predict them to win, since I had good experience with them this summer when I was head coach for Team West. And
fnatic. Did they actually have a go at you and say, hey, why didn't you pick us to win? Now we're going to lose intentionally.
No, but I mean, it was just, I had a prediction, and of course they disagree with me, but I mean, they have proven to be a really strong team. And right now, I mean, I even predicted that they would lose today, and I still have to go for that, and since I said it yesterday, but I mean, they're a bunch of nice guys, and I hope the best for them, and I hope they will come back and show me wrong.
Well, we're about to find out. This is a massive test, a game against mTw. mTw playing well. Executor, I got to press you for a prediction on this one. mTw or fnatic?
Well, I predicted mTw yesterday, and I have to stick with that, so I'll say mTw today as well. Even though if it's Inferno, I think fnatic will have a bigger chance of winning. But I mean, I'll go with the prediction I had yesterday.
So it is Dust2. We have rejoined on.
Dust2. Not.
No?
It's not Dust2.
What map is it?
I don't know, but I know that fnatic is not going to play Dust2.
Okay. Now, here's an interesting... Map is Inferno. Here's an interesting question for you, Executor. These guys have been playing this map for so long, so many years. Why would a team still not like to go for Dust2?
Well, as I've said so many times earlier, Dust2 is a random map. It really favors them. It's not about skill only. It's just about, I mean, there's also a lot of random factors about that map because it's been played so much. You can't do anything new or surprising. And most of the action is mostly based on your individual ability as a player, and that can be random sometimes because all the top players are about the same skill level, and one day you know you hit your shots, the other day the opponents hit their shots, and that will decide who will win Dust2. It's just that kind of map.
But arguably, fnatic have decided it's not random for them. They don't like it, they're not going to win it. This would be why they would veto it.
No, I mean, that's what I mean. It's like they don't want to put their whole tournament on a map like Dust2. And I think it's time for tournament directors or whatever to realize that Dust2 is a map that could easily be removed from the map pool, and we could add some new maps in, maybe CPL Mill or Tuscan, the new version of Mill, and maybe some other maps, because I think Dust2 is is over. I mean, I don't like those two at all in a competitive play because I know that that map is just been overplayed and it's really not a great map to play in a competitive game.
Guess what has happened? Steam has struck with an update, and we need to we need to close Steam and get ourselves back into it and so on. That's why we can't load Inferno. Would you believe it? Or at least some of these guys can't. Me being one of them.
You being a noob.
Here we go. Me being a noob, that's a harsh call. Here we go, connecting back in. You can catch all the updates for this tournament on ESL-masters.net. There are tournament updates, there are brackets, there are umpteen galleries by the one and only Sodi, and there's also other coverage going on of the tournaments on pages like Readmore, SK of course, Kaka have got it, Fragbite have got it. The tournament really is being brilliantly covered online. And I think for those of you out in the audience wondering, well, what is esports? What is gaming? We're at that position where we're just like a sport, where this morning, Executor and I woke up, logged on to various sports sites to see Liverpool dropping the lead in the 83rd minute against Atletico Madrid, just like many people at home are logging on this morning to find out who's playing first in this one, and then to see who will pick up the win. It really is becoming such a very similar way of covering events and way of building stars. And Executor, you are still a star if you read those comments on SK, which you certainly have done a lot today. Trust me, if you want to boost Executor's ego, you can comment on the interview he did on that video, because he has refreshed those comments probably 1,000 times. We got internet at the room last night to hope to stream the football, and the first thing he did when I went to the toilet away from my laptop was, quick, go on SK, find the comments. But it is something that's a massive part of esports now.
What?
Being a star.
Being a star, yeah. I mean, all these players are stars in esports right now, and I guess that's one of the reasons why they still play, because they like that feeling to be someone special, and they are someone special because they're putting so much time and effort, and then they're at the top of their game. And with so many people playing it, it's quite a feat to be at the top of your game, and so they should be stars like in any other sports.
Okay, well, I believe Joe is man with a plan. Now he's shaking his head, frowning at me. Maybe he doesn't have a plan. The admin has quickly walked away. I think we haven't heard from Joe in at least 5 minutes, so I think it's important we do hear from him, because he's ready to go. It's Joe.
Thanks, Tosspot. And I was going to talk to the admin here, but he actually ran away when I told him he was going to be on camera. So, to prevent that, while he's knelt down, I'm going to get right in his face and ask him what the problem is. So, Cartman, while you're there and you can't run away, what's the issue? What's going on with the new update?
Yeah, there's probably some problems with the update, because when some players try to connect to the server, they're just crashing. Counter-Strike is just crashing. And so we have to try to restart the server, but this was not a solution. Now the players have to create first a server on their own computer, and then disconnect, and then connect to the server, and then it works.
So is this a case of Steam releasing an update to break rather than fix the game?
Again? I couldn't hear.
Well, we'll skip past that one. It was a dig anyway. So what does the update actually change? What's the reason for this update?
I don't know really what they exactly changed, but it's the duck jump, the double duck, the Russian duck they changed. I think it's make the same sound now as normal ducking and jumping. So it's not like that there's some sounds missing, and the CL update rate is the maximum of 100 now. And there's some scripts and exploits are also fixed.
So then, a few fix and changes which have actually ended up delaying the tournament, because they, of course, the first day's delay. So, Executor, how do you think the Russian duck jump being taken out of the game will affect things, if at all?
Executor goes silent.
What? I can't hear him. I don't have in game.
Joe asked, how do you believe the Russian duck being taken out will affect the game, if at all?
Oh, well, I heard about it, that they mentioned it this morning, that the update had made the Russian jump kind of obsolete since you make a lot of sound now while doing it. And I think that's a great thing, because I think it's just annoying to watch these people jump up and down. That was not something we were doing a lot when I was playing Counter-Strike, and I think it's much more fun to see them crouching around.
Well, there you have it. Now, we're still, well, we got all the players on the server now. Whether they're able to stick with it, I'm not sure. But perhaps fnatic have called that they're ready. Waiting on mTw to call themselves ready, and then we'll get this one underway. We're restarting for the knife. Executor has backed mTw in this one. Over the boys he had breakfast with this morning. That is a real knife in the back.
No, but I said it yesterday, actually, before knowing the maps. Looking at it, it's Inferno, and fnatic beat SK twice on this map, and in Montreal, I'd say that fnatic has a bigger chance of mTw of winning, but I just say that, since I said it yesterday, I just have to keep my
Someone
prediction.
knows he won't get invited to breakfast tomorrow morning, and he'll be stuck eating with me, clearly. Anyway, we're about to start this one now. We've had our knife round. We're swapping sides. And, well, what's left to say, really?
fnatic won the pistol round, and they still opted going terrorist. I mean, this was the questionable tactic of MLBR yesterday, but I think fnatic knows what they're doing when they're picking T on Inferno, because both games against SK, they were very impressive as T on this map. And if you get a good start as T, I mean, you can then control the money as CT so much more better, because you don't have to panic, you don't have to buy when you don't have to buy. That's a positive thing about starting as attacking side, is that you start with a side that costs less money. So when you're going to be on the expensive side, you can do more eco rounds if things goes badly.
You can wait for your opportunity to win.
Exactly.
Well, here is their opportunity right now. fnatic versus mTw is live. We are away on the pistol round, and let us see what these two sides have to offer. As the gladiators enter the arena once more. fnatic will slowly edge their way forward. Remember, we have to delay somewhat what we're saying, just in case we spoil the game for them. So if you are just joining us and wondering perhaps why we're not mentioning where fnatic are, they are 2 meters away from me, if that. But they do have helicopter headphones on. Nades flying on there now as fnatic look to try and create an entrance into the small site. It will be Zonic to open up the fragging with one. Hims has got himself one back though for a fnatic. Quickly the bomb goes down as Archie and Sunder will exchange frags. 3-on-3 left, bomb planting. How can mTw recover here? And Wimp will make his way in. Khan drops one, DSN with another. It leaves just AVE, who's not standing anymore, and fnatic pick up the pistol round to a round of applause from Archie, and well, job done.
Yeah, good pistol round. I mean, this is how you can do the Inferno strategy. It's so simple. You just have one guy with grenades, and then when you hit that small site, you see how good they time their smokes and flashes. They don't throw in first and then run in. They do it while running in, so that CTs don't have any time to counter flash and counter grenade. They were already on spot when that smoke hit, and that is how you're supposed to play it. When you want to take that side, you need to time the grenades perfectly. What lesser teams do is that they tend to throw all the grenades and then run in, but then it's already too late, you know, because then the CTs already know you're coming and they've counter flashed and you are white and you can't go in. But now when they come so fast into the site, they're leaving the CTs off guard, and can take this, the entry is really easy.
Here we go. fnatic Spire stack there as DSN gets himself a frag onto Zonic, and now mTw down a man and down on weapons, of course. You know, educate the audience for us here, Executor. Pick on a round like this, what is an anti-eco? What are fnatic doing and taking it slowly? Because, you know, in black and white terms, you could say, well, they've got the weapons, they should just run in and kill them. But it never plays out that way.
Well, because they want to avoid doing what they did right now, losing a guy. In anti-ecos, preferably, since you have the advantage weapon-wise, you can get the round win without losing any players. And if you don't lose any players, that means that you keep all the equipment you had that round and don't have to buy next round. and that builds up money and that builds up momentum, and that is very important in Counter-Strike.
Those are the thoughts of Executor, of course, and ESWC, CPL, and WEG champion, amongst other things. I'm sure you'll correct me later as to what else I missed out with your win.
I'll write it down for you for next time.
Do we have enough paper? Here we go, on board with AVE as he will spy a few shots coming his way. Flies down to land the frag, as does Sunder. fnatic have got 3, but mTw have got 2. Archie and Khan both gone down, as does Inns now as AVE strikes for his second frag of the round. Really nice work from him as he will look for another as he knows that fnatic can get. Oh, lovely shot as DSN goes down, and now it's Forest versus Sunder and AVE for the round. Forest does have full health, but he hasn't got anybody else with him, and Sunder picks it up. Great play by AVE and Sunder there to win the round, but from fnatic, a nightmare.
I mean, first frag of AVE was just fantastic. I mean, jumping with the USB, getting headshots, 3 HP, and with 3 HP he killed 2 more guys with his AK. I mean, I don't think fnatic is quite awake yet, because that was just so poorly played by fnatic, because a 3 HP without no armor, you can breathe on him and he will die, and still he managed to kill 2 more guys in that round. Yeah. But I mean, fantastic play by AV as well.
He came up with like a karate flying jump kick to find that frag, the first one. Now he's still got that AK and happy to rattle off the shots from it to add insult to injury here for fnatic. Sunder lines up. This oh so crucial.
But interesting thought is that when I saw mTw playing this map against what team was it? We were casting it. Well, on Inferno, like now, Sunder was hitting his shots. At that game, Sunder was not hitting his op shots. I think it's very important for mTw that Sunder gets his AVP going on this map, or else they'll be in trouble like they were against ATS. No, against what team? They were 16-14.
I don't think I casted it with you. I think that was you and Joe. Virtus?
No. No, I didn't cast it. I just watched it.
Okay.
I just watched the game. But they were almost losing on Inferno against some team. There was a lot with Sunder not hitting his op shots. So let's hope he can hit them today.
Well, right on cue, he's missed 2 rather difficult ones, it has to be said. As Wimp comes in with 1 and Khan goes down. Sunder does land that one. He's going to follow up there with a frag onto Inns, and that'll be the round for mTw. Sunder claiming, I think, 2 or 3 of the frags in that round.
Yeah, but the point here, why I'm mentioning this, is that you said it was difficult op shots, but at this level, you're going to hit those op shots if you're going to relieve the pressure for your teammates, because you have only 2 calls covering against 5 players, and you have an AVP guy that is supposed to cover the whole middle area. If he doesn't get any of the kills, those 2 people will face 5 terrorists, you know. But if he gets just 1 of them, they only meet 4, and that's a huge difference right there. So he needs to get those shots in if he's going to help out his teammates. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Sunder did a bad job. I'm just saying that was a factor of mTw struggling as CT on Inferno yesterday. I have to check what that match was.
Here we go with fnatic. Forced to save here at the score, leveled up at 2-2. After mTw broke the pistol conversion, and now are breaking fnatic hearts with 4 frags. It leaves just 1 standing, that is Khan. Khan to lead by example, perhaps? No. Sunder comes up with a frag, and that's mTw to pick up their 3rd round in a row and mount pressure onto fnatic once again. Now, of course, we talked about...
Yeah, it was mTw versus Dignitas. Well, the game they almost lost. They were under by a lot. It was like 14-7 to Dignitas, and they turned around and made it 15-15. And what were you going to say?
fnatic will look to make their way through and try to get in on this one as they push in. They're very quickly running down the carpeted walkway. Inns opens up the fragging with 1 onto Wimp. AVE's come back and downed Inns, and now fnatic will charge on through with Forest, who edges his way through and towards the site. Forest is going to come up with one as AVE goes down. And fnatic are in danger as the bomb gets planted. They have now got it, and they now are going to try and set themselves up for the afterplant with Sunder to contend with.
And this is what a good team do. They realize they cannot win this round, so they want to save out their weapons and go for the next round. I mean, they have an AVP, they have 2 Colts, they have armor, they have kit. It's like 15k in total in equipment, so it's like a lot of money that they're saving right here. The next round, I mean, as you said, I mean, Sunder wasn't even at the big bomb site now. They were just got run over when they had only the 3 Colts there. And fnatic did an excellent fast rush towards the upper bomb site. And that's a tactic I haven't seen so often on Infernal. These teams normally tend to try to wait out their opponent and then attack. While I was playing Infernal, we did a lot of fast tactics against the bigger site because you can come in from so many different angles.
Sunder looks to push up and find a frag, can't, as he's flashed out. fnatic are going to dart around, I think, up the carpeted walkway. Yes, indeed, with Archie. Fires off a shot. Inns opens up the fragging. It's AVE that's down for mTw.
Sunder opens up with a nice frag in the mid.
DSN who's the victim. Archie flashed. MGE comes up with one onto Khan. fnatic down a man now. 3 on 4. mTw quite happy to sit and wait for fnatic, see what they will throw at them. As Archie continues to meet up with Inns, and a pair of them will rifle off a few shots through the middle. What I don't think they're aware of is where MJE is. But he's neither aware of where his opponents are. Finds one, drops Forest now, is bringing all the attention his way. But Sunder and Wimp finish off the fnatic sandwich, and mTw pick up their 4th round. They lead by 4 rounds to 3. It's a very, very impressive start.
Yeah, and I mean, as we see now it's fnatic that is our, kind of a bind when it comes to the money, because they win 1 round, they lose 1 round, and then they win and lose back and forth, and then they can't build up any momentum. And even if it's cheaper to beat terrorists, you have to also start winning some rounds in a row here as well. I mean, especially when you don't get the bomb planted. If you can get the bomb planted, then you can have a chance of buying even if you lose. But if you can't get the bomb down, the terrorists also have to save. And the more save rounds you have, the more rounds you give away to your opponent.
fnatic on a devil save now, opening it up with a headshot onto Sunder. That claims the AWP. That changes this. Khan goes down. MJE follows up with 1. Forest is out as well, and mTw recover well to pick themselves up 2 frags, but the bomb has been planted. There are still 2 fnatic players left up, and they're not up anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, they got the bomb done in an eco round, and I think that's all you want to do as terrorist on any map when you are saving. You just get that bomb down. It gives the team so much extra money, and it can change the map totally. But I mean, as I said again, like you should be nice on the AVP player on the CT team, because in any defense, the AVP player has a very important role. And I think he's going to take a shot over.
Here we go. Sunder now on the prowl for fnatic, as he will eye through. Ooh. DSN finds the AK headshot, and Sunder's down.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And this could be a big factor for mTw. They need to keep that AVP alive, or else, I mean, Inferno is already a difficult map to defend, and without that AVP, I mean, it's going to be so much harder for them to keep fnatic back.
Wimp picks up a frag onto Archie. mTw find themselves 4 on 4, but no AWP. And fnatic ready now to pile on in towards the side as they will readily charge forward. It's Inns that opens up with 1. But MJE and Sonic combine to find Forest and Inns, and then fnatic find themselves in trouble here. Khan goes down, and AVE is flanking as well. Sonic may well finish the job off here. It's DSN between a rock and a very, very hard place as he gets himself a fantastic frag onto AVE. Still has a bit of health to play with as well, but has a lot of mTw players to play with. They don't play fair, and that is 6-3.
And I don't know what Fnatic was doing there. They were 5 versus 4. They got Sunde for free. Nobody had lost any HP. And then they decided to go to small bombs. And I mean, that's fair enough because they know there are only 2 guys there. But they leave Archie there at the bigger site, and he just died. And then it was only 4. And then Sonic and MJ could hold them back until the rotation came. And so, I mean, I think Fnatic needs to just get their play, get their game going, and do it right. I mean, that was just sloppy play by Fnatic again. It is easy. It's just about focus. I don't think they're focusing 100%. They lost the 3rd round. There was an eco from mTw, and they lost this round where they got the opening kill. I mean, this proves that they're not concentrating 100%. They need to start focusing now.
Sunde to make his way through. Wimp has opened up the fragging as Inns has gone down. Sunder's just caught the back of one of them. Wimp's just claimed himself a 2nd frag. mTw are claiming 3 with Wimp. AVE chimes in, and there's Sunder downing Archie, and there's the round to mTw. They clean out the Fnatic Deagle round, and it is 7-3 to mTw going into the half with 5 to play. What's the best Fnatic can hope for now?
Well, right now, the best thing they can hope for is that they can make it so that mTw will lose all the money. But it's so hard now because they've given mTw 4 rounds in a row, I think, and then CT is already starting up to build up a lot of money.
Archie and AVE pick themselves up a frag each. The only benefit in terms of the money comment you made is Sunder had to buy AWP's 3 rounds of those 4.
But somebody can drop from them. I mean, 3 of them have only 4 deaths in 10 rounds.
Here we go, bomb planted. Fnatic kept themselves another frag. It's DSN that downs Sonic, and this perhaps is a Fnatic round. Wimp will look to recover for them as he makes his way forward. He finds the frag onto Archie. At worst, he's going to make this expensive for Fnatic. And I think at best, he'll make it expensive for Fnatic as mTw decide enough is enough. Sunder with a lovely shot onto Inns, but the round has been lost.
Yeah, but still, it made it expensive. They got 2 more kills after pushing up. I mean, I saw mTw doing the same strat against Dignitad yesterday. They pushed up in a round that they were not supposed to push up. This one, I think it was an okay call to do it, but I think they need to work on this strategy because it hasn't worked for them yesterday and it didn't work for them now as well. So it's a sound plan in theory, but they need to do it better in practical terms.
On board with Sunder, looking down the left route. So nobody's coming his way just yet. The fact that he's standing in the middle and able to ping off a shot tells him and his teammates that perhaps Fnatic are going inside or going to the small site, because he's commanding a lot of territory here. MJE will open up to 1 onto Forest. Fnatic are actually going to try and play out. Archie gets himself 1 onto Wimp. Sunder continues to prowl with that AWP, finds a fantastic frag onto Archie, and Fnatic are in trouble. Down 2 men to mTw's 1. Khan, though, levels the board up with an AK onto Inns. Thinks about pulling out. MG gets himself 1, and Sunder gets the finishing frag, and mTw pick themselves up their 8th round of the half. There are but 3 left, and Fnatic find themselves in a lot of trouble.
And again, Fnatic has the same. I mean, this is the 3rd save round in the last 4 or 5 rounds. And I mean, okay, they're apparently not saving, but I mean, they don't have a lot of money. People are dropping guns everywhere, and they don't have a lot of grenades. This is a round that mTw is gonna win most likely because of that fact. But it's a desperate situation for Fnatic. They felt like they needed to buy to get the rounds on the board. And look, Inns only had a Deagle picking up an AK. Fnatic is really struggling with the money right now.
Wimp claims 1. Archie's got himself an HG in his face. As Inns now makes his way back, and AVE is going to be his victim. Fnatic are picking up some frags here, but still find themselves 1 man down. DSN with the bomb. Sonic finds Inns, and Sonic finishes off the round for mTw in style. And mTw 9-4 now up at halftime. What was the comment from I think Forest after the LA stop? Something like, we just didn't show up, or it was awful, or something. A Fnatic, a team that on their day are fantastic, but sometimes struggle to find that day?
No, you can't say that Fnatic is struggling to find that. They have been placing top 3 for almost 3 years now, I think, or something like that. So they are a top team, and they're always going to be a top team as long as they play. But I mean, I think they're just getting a bit fatigued. I mean, they've been on the road now for over a month and playing matches, and it's been going up and down. But you know, I think the point is when it's going down for Fnatic, it's just not because of their ability or their tactics or their team play. It's just that they can't find that spark, you know, that drive that we want to win. And we have discussed this earlier. Fnatic is a team that always plays as well, but rarely gets that first place, you know. And I think this is just proving that they need to get some energy into the team again. Either new energy or just have to sit down and talk together and say, what can we do to be more motivated every game? Because they need to get that, because they're not that much better than the other teams anymore, and they need to have that same will of winning as mTw is showing right now. They're much lower at stage, they're screaming, shouting, cheering yourself. I don't hear Fnatic at all right now.
So let's go through some series of events. LA, they finished poorly. Montreal, somehow they pull out the most amazing win against SK, double on Inferno. Now here, on Inferno against mTw, they've been caught out.
Yeah, well, let's not write them off totally yet. I mean, they still have CT side to play, and I know Fnatic shut down against SK on CT side, so they can still do it. Winning pistol round, winning 4th round, and all of a sudden they're equals against. So if Fnatic can get those important rounds, they can still give mTw a good match here. But yes, this terror side right now is not what Fnatic is all about. So I don't know.
If you were a betting man, you would never bet on Fnatic because you don't know what the outcome may be.
No, exactly. But that's why I also said I don't think Fnatic will win this tournament after winning the last one, because Fnatic is a team that doesn't kind of have that energy in the team. They have all the skill, all the abilities, but they don't have that energy, and that is also very important.
You remember our interview? Oh dear. If you remember our interview with Wally yesterday, he said that Zet was a breath of fresh air to the team, and maybe that's what Fnatic needs, is I think what you're leading to.
And you can see just that missed flash by DSN right there. He wouldn't do that. 9 out of 10 times he wouldn't do that. But why does he do it right now in a match so important? I mean, they're not into it.
If you look at the body language of the two, you see mTw really riled up and ready to go. For Fnatic, they look...
Yeah, but this is the Fnatic style. They're always calm while playing. Even when they were starting up as a team, they've always been very calm and collected. And that is not a bad thing always, but sometimes you just need to get that extra something in. And that's something Fnatic are struggling with right now, I think.
Is that sometimes where a manager can come in and help and you know, be the man who motivates?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe they need something at least to give them that energy.
Well, we need something. We need Joe.
Well, we talk about men who can motivate him here. Udo, the manager of...
Yes.
Ball from the second half. I think... Okay, let's start again. There you go, take that away. So, I'm not sure how much of that you caught, but basically 11-4 is the first half score. Gudo's happy with 11-4. And then I was just talking about Sundu, who's obviously the Counter-Strike Player of the Year this year from Turtle Entertainment Esports Awards. Now, how important is a player like Sundu to the team?
Well, as maps as these, CT and Inferno and both sides on train, he's really important. If he gets his A game up, nothing can stop us, I think.
And do you think Fnatic miss a presence behind them like your team have you? I mean, do you think that they need Sam here basically to cheer them on and get them motivated?
Well, Sam is there sometimes, but he's not speaking their native language. But I think they're not as an emotional team as we are. They speak quietly with each other, and we are a lot of emotion-based team. So I don't think it make a difference for them. I don't know really.
So I noticed that your team get a lot of high fives after the good rounds. Is that the kind of thing that keeps these guys fired up? You know, a lot of contact and a lot of shouting?
Well, I think you should have a microphone in Ventrilo. There's so much fun and so much good emotions, and that's so important. We just talk to each other like we were in a hotel room.
So that could be the difference then, Tosspot and Executor. The emotion and the spirit of mTw really high right now. Let's see if fnatic can pick it up and come back into this game.
Thank you very much, Joe. And I'll tell you what, I'd quite happily take that seat on the mTw Ventrilo and try and listen into the good times, because it's quite right. mTw, when they're winning, are a fantastic team to be around. They're so happy, so jovial, and that is contagious. That breeds almost success. Happiness can breed success almost. And they find themselves in a fantastic position here against fnatic, up 11-4 at halftime. The question is, the big question, and I don't want to stress a point, but fnatic won Montreal. They come here arguably having done so as the top, or the top team, you could say, or despite the randomness that exists at the top. And it's just a big surprise to see them in this position.
Well, I won't say surprise. I mean, mTw is a great team in their own right as well. I mean, I call for mTw to maybe win this game, but I'm not saying that they will win, but I said they have a great chance now. Getting 11-4 as CT on Inferno is always a good feeling coming into it. You don't need to win pistol round. You don't even need to win fourth round. But if you give up those two important rounds, I mean, fnatic is back in the game. And right now, it looks like fnatic is going to give mTw a good fight right now.
Yes, a lovely double pistol frag coming in as mTw lose their opening 2, make that opening 3. Sonic does open up one to Khan, but it's just Sonic and Sunder for mTw now. Sunder has eyes on one. There is Forest coming in with the frag onto Sonic, and it leaves just Sunder. And, well, he may be CS Player of the Year, but 1-on-4 with only 50 points of health. Ain't going to happen for him now. Archie picks up the frag, and fnatic get themselves a foot in the door once again. It's now 11-5, and they have the pistol round.
And they have the pistol round. That's the most important thing. And mTw didn't get a bomb down. So they either have to do like, they can buy now, Deagles, and then just realize, okay, if we lose this round, we have to save, and that we would have to do anyways. They might win this round, and they'll be in a terrific shape. They will lose this round, but get the bomb down, and they can still buy the third round. So buying second round very often is not a bad idea if you don't get the bomb down, because you always have to do 2 saves anyways then. So that's why mTw is doing what they're doing right now.
On board with MGE, who flies on through, gets shut down by Archie, who's got himself 2 massive frags, claims the third. Archie on fire here, mopping up the Danes. Wimp, though, stops him in his tracks with a double deagle frag. Forest has got one, Sunder's got the HE frag, goes down to wins his Famous. And fnatic pick up the round, but lost 3 frag.
Yeah, this was all Archie. I mean, this round could have been really dangerous for fnatic, because mTw was hitting the exact right spot where fnatic was a bit vulnerable. I mean, they had only Archie in the big pit, and they had a supporting player for bombs, but they were coming 5-person with Deagles. But Archie getting 3 of them just stopped the whole push, and an amazing round by Archie right there. And they didn't even get the bomb down, so they have to do another eco.
mTw with work to do yet. fnatic making sure that the halftime joy is short-lived. 11-4 has become 11-6. And Wimp is skipping around, still joyous though, like a little schoolgirl. Now DSN gets himself one, dropping AVE. Wimp decides to stop skipping and skip his way into harm's way. MJ comes up with a frag onto DSN. Now it will be Wimp to push along. He finds his teammate and is ready to make his move into fnatic territory. Pushing forward, gets himself one. Khan goes up with 2. Forest gets the third. mTw starting to fall now as Sonic is left in trouble. There is Khan to finish off the job. fnatic pick up 3. It's 11-7.
And Fnatic did a good job. I mean, it was a bit expensive that second round, but then mTw had Deagle, so losing 3 people that round isn't that big of a deal since mTw was going for the round win. This round, mTw did a full save, and Fnatic only lost 1 guy, and that is very important. And he only had a USP anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So Fnatic is in a good shape money-wise, while mTw has no bomb plants, almost no kills on the board. So if they lose this round without a bomb plant, they have to save again, or buy with no AVP, no grains, no nothing. So right now, mTw is in a kind of a bad shape, even though they're leading at 11-7.
So not to put too fine a point on it, but the first buy round here could shape this one. mTw lie in wait. Talk us through well, as we're going for this attack in a moment. You know, we spent like 45 seconds wait as mTw looked through every angle. In a moment, I want to hear your thoughts on the speed of this one. Zonic comes up with a frag. DSN's got himself 1 back, and mTw exchanges. Archie comes in with another frag. AVE's at the double though. Archie down. Bomb going in from mTw. They have 3 men in position to make this one count, and it's down. Now DSN looks to get involved. He's got 1 to his right to back him up. 3 versus 3 for this one, as Sunder will sit tight with Khan, ready to come to him, as Inns will open up onto AVE. Khan gets himself the important frag. There's just 1 left up. It's Wimp, and Khan gets the frag. Fnatic on the board, picking up the first buy round and pulling this one all the way back to their 4th round as CT and to a score of 11-8.
Yeah, what you saw there was mTw doing their so-called standard tactic, and a standard tactic is just basically spread out the team on 3 different directions, wait, see if the CTs push, and then do the attack you always like you have practiced so many times on. And very often that attack is on the big side, splitting up from different angles, coming in, get the plant in, get out of the plant situation where they... And I mean, mTw was setting up perfectly for nice crossfires, but they did not cover that side hole well enough, and that cost them the round.
Zonic opening up the fragging. Inns down. mTw lose MGE, but save with AVE. Fnatic lose Khan and Forest as Wimp strikes as well. Fnatic looking to... well, they've given up that small site now with the bomb planted, and I think Archie's going to drop back. Yes, he does. And mTw pick up a crucial round here.
Yeah, and the only reason mTw could buy was that they got the bomb down, and why they hit the inner side, the smaller side, was that they didn't have that much money, right? So they probably didn't have full equipment. Then you can always try to just power through somewhere. And on almost all maps, you always decide to go on the smaller bomb side because there's just 1 choke point. The defenders only have 2 players there. So if you can get that entry frag, you get the bomb down, and then you switch over. Then they are the defenders, and then defending team don't need so many nades, right? And they will sit there and wait for their opponent. So that's it's a textbook play by mTw, and it worked out perfectly for them.
This one delicately poised now as mTw pick up their first round on tees. That sets us up at 12-8. Fnatic must sit, waiting on mTw coming to them now, as they set themselves up for this assault. Looking at the scoreboard briefly in the second half, you see that Khan really leading the way for Fnatic right now. As AVE will prepare to strike. Out come the nades from Sonic and MGE. Wimp's got himself set, and now AVE is ready to rock and or roll, dropping himself down into the sandpit. Has 1 that Wimp's helped him out with, and Archie goes down. Now they have perhaps complete control of this covered site. DSN with the AWP shot, dropping 1. Sonic's going to put the bomb down. Khan is out for the count, and the bomb is in. And mTw homing in on another round here, unless DSN could do something about it with that AWP. He's still got Inns for company as well, but DSN decides to get out of there. And Inns has already just made that decision a long time ago. Fnatic will drop their 2nd round in a row, as they will keep that AWP up. They will keep Inns up again, though, for the 2nd round in a row. And for mTw, more importantly, they get to 13. They're 3 away from glory.
Yeah, and their standard split towards the big side. I mean, it's a joy to see. I mean, they have so many good grenades. You can see that they're relying on their grenades. The guys running out the side, they're running out blind. They're just jumping in there because they know that everybody on that side is blind. So even if they can't see anything, they know that their opponents can't see anything. And then when you first take over that big pit without losing any people with 2 terrorists, the whole CT defense gets destroyed in the process. And so Fnatic, what Fnatic needs to do is that they need to pick up, they need to stay playing more aggressive in the middle so that they can't flash from the middle. If you get those flashes over the roof from the middle, the guys holding the left side at CT, they're always going to be blind and they will have no chance of defending.
There's a very enjoyable confidence about watching mTw right now as Xavier comes in with a frag. Forest with 2. Now looking to, goes down, but Archie helps him out with 2 of his own, and a 3rd. Lovely stuff from Archie, and right when they needed it as well, Fnatic, they pick up their 5th round on CT. They have 9 now to mTw's 13.
Yeah, and mTw tried to do the same tactic, but this time Archie did not get flashed. I mean, and he was in a big pit, and he got 3 big kills. That is what is so important. The terrorists, to control that area is the most important area on Inferno, on the big side. It's that big pit. From the big pit, you control the side, you control quad, you control the small pit. I mean, you control everything, and Archie is taking it for his own. And as long as Archie can hold that big pit with good support from Forest, Fnatic will win those rounds. I mean, if he can't hold it, then mTw will win this round. So, I mean, Fnatic is really relying on Archie and Forest right now to put up the numbers if mTw keep continuing their attack.
We're going to try and get some game sounds for you here in the audience in just a moment, as we seem to have lost those. Archie comes up with 1, dropping Zonic again. And now Archie gets his 2nd frag. DSN comes in with 1, and Fnatic are clawing their way right back into this one. MJE, the last man up for mTw. Fnatic are going to pick this round up, unless MJE can do something about it. DSN, Khan and Archie look for MJE. And at 5-2, soon to become 6-2. Perhaps the stories of Fnatic's downfall were short-lived.
Well, I mean, right now, Fnatic is in great shape. mTw don't get the bomb down. The 2 rounds in a row now where they have had weapons, they don't even get the bomb down, so they don't get those $800 extra for these 2 rounds. And that means they probably are in a low money situation they have to save. And this is what happened with Fnatic last round, was that they had to save so many rounds. And saving means just giving away rounds most of the time. And so what mTw needs to do is that they need to have strats where they at least get the bomb down.
Forrest gets himself a frag onto MJE. Fnatic open up here on mTw's Eco. Archie gets the 2nd. Now Sunder's going nowhere as Archie gets another one, and Forrest is in on the fragging. And there is just Sonic left, and he's not up anymore. Forrest with 3. And Fnatic have got their 7th round here on CT. That brings them up to 11. It's 14-11. Very much game on.
Yeah, very much. I mean, Fnatic has so much money right now, so even if they lose a couple of rounds, they will still be in it because they are in order to buy. Well, 1 round they can lose.
And it's 13-11, in fact. My maths of 14 are wayward. Well, that even amplifies that point further. Fnatic pull it back to a 2-round game as Wimp gets himself an AK frag. Archie drops Sonic. And it's Fnatic now who must build on this momentum that they've got in the second half. Having only dropped 2, they've really rattled their own cage and got themselves going again in the second half. mTw, though, look like they're going to take the small side unless Khan can do something about it, and you better believe he can. 2, 3 huge frags. Khan shuts down the small side and makes it his own. Sunder now is afraid to go into Khan territory, but he will do so, and in style, dropping Archie. He is going to run up against Khan and an AWP as he finds himself in trouble there. And the AWP of DSN picks it up, and even Khan gets a pat in the back there from Archie to just say, well done, what a round.
What a round by Khan. I mean, I mean, I don't understand that mTw don't check that spot. The first guy going in checked the spot further to the right, but I mean, normally there is a guy at the triple box that is right there where Khan was standing, and nobody checked there. He got the first kill in the back, but then the 2 other kills were just headshots, and so great run by Khan.
It is 13-12 now as Inns comes up with a frag. And there is Forest in as well, pushing along. MJ will get himself one back onto Inns, but fnatic have Archie at the double once again. AVE's been dropped, and Sunder must wait. As MJ has a gun, Sunder's in the middle. The pair of them waiting on any fnatic players that have gone walkies, but fnatic have really done their job. They've shut down mTw to just 2 men, and may now sit back and reap the rewards of winning this and tying up the match. Scoreboard looks good for Archie Khan. AVE has a quiet second half. Archie's got himself one before going down to MJE, who is going to get another frag there onto DSN. And now it's 2-on-1 from being 4-on-1. And MJE has a weapon of mass destruction. Forest and Khan now ready to make their move. The sandwich is placed, and MJE is the meat, and fnatic are the bread. And that is round fnatic and tie game.
Tie game, but I mean, this run was important for mTw. They did a good save round. They got 3 kills and they got the bomb down. And this is what mTw needs to do. They need to get that bomb down in order so they can buy every round. If they get the bomb down, they'll find out soon enough that, hey man, we can buy a lot more often. And I think they know this, but their strategies just don't cut it because they don't get this bomb down and they need that so badly.
3 rounds left in this one. 4 rounds left in this one, sorry. Or a beloved overtime. fnatic with the wind in their sails, but mTw with a point to prove, having looked so fantastic in that first half.
Oh.
MJE opens up with a fantastic headshot onto Inns, makes his way in towards the small site, will push along as he's got one in front of him that Whip helps him out with. That's Khan that's gone down, and mTw have control of the site now, and Forest is going to have to get across there, as is DSN. DSN will rally in the AWP shots, but to no avail as he's firing blind through the smoke. Archie gets a fantastic frag onto MJE, but Forest is down from behind. It's DSN that shuts down Sonic, and now mTw look to hold out this one, but Archie may be able to do something about it. AVE knows he's coming that way, will push through as mTw will make their way in. AVE gets himself a frag. Archie's down and out. And mTw are pushing along. DSN gets it, but he gets it from Sunder in the end. And that is round mTw, and back in the lead.
Yeah, and what's so great about this round for mTw was that they only lost, I couldn't pay attention totally, but 2 guys they lost, or 3, 2 or 3 guys. And I mean, so even if they lose this round, they still have money to buy next one again, and that is important right now, that they don't lose so many people every round, the rounds they win, in order to keep the money good in the team.
Well, the score, after 12 rounds in the second half, mTw have just retaken. Oh, here we go. AVE and Forest pick themselves up 1 each as we're down to a 4-on-4 suddenly. fnatic 13, mTw 14. And this is as tight as you'd like as fnatic look to tie this one right back up with a frag from DSN and Forest. Victory for mTw, and this would take them to match point, 2 of them. fnatic need to win 3 in a row to win this match outright before overtime. But, oh, fantastic team kill there from Khan. Suddenly after Forest took down Sunder, and fnatic looked to close this one out. It wasn't to be, but it does leave just Wimp on his own still, 1 on 3. And fnatic are on the verge of tying us back up to 14 all. And this enticing duel will go all the way to the wire. As Wimp finds a headshot onto Khan. Did take a lot of damage, though. Will get the bomb down for the bank as the bomb is planted, but with DSN eyes on and a frag on, and fnatic start to find their voice for the first time.
Yeah.
14 all.
Yeah, now they really want to win this game. Now it's like they just hadn't woken up properly as team, but right now they're 14 all and looking good. But still, mTw is also looking good. They got the bomb down, and it was huge by Wimp to get that kill on Khan to get the bomb down, because that allowed the team to buy again, or else they needed to do a save in a match point round. So it's right now it's still an open game.
2 rounds to go. Someone's got to win them both to win the match, or it's overtime. This has been the closest match we've seen so far on the stage, and we've loved every minute of it. Here we go with mTw. Angling their way up the banana walkway. Nades aplenty. As here go mTw now. AVE gets himself in. Khan has got has got 1 frag, but MJE's come up with the second, and Khan's not allowed to rally in those 3 frags that he was rounds ago. mTw have the small site, they have the bomb down, and it's going to take one heck of a recovery here from fnatic to stop mTw going to match point. Here goes Forest. Flashed, has to wait, as the reinforcements are coming as well. Now Forest ready to strike as the nade flies in from his teammate. Gets picked off by Sunder. There's DSN, last man standing, as Sunder's got 2 headshots and 2 frags, but DSN's got 2 of his own. It's MJE versus DSN. The bomb will blow, and MJE will pick up the frag regardless, and mTw are on match point. What a performance.
Yeah, and that strategy in the small side, I love that strat. Actually, it's kind of a strat we used back in the NOA days. It's like, we go really close to the small site and we sneak up so the CTs can't see it, right? And then instead of flashing and smoking, you just start running right up to the site, and then you start starting flashes to the right and just start running right up the site. And then you have the CTs just standing there with the anti-flashes ready, and they don't expect terrorists to be in their faces, because a normal small site strat is that you smoke to the right and then you run up to the site. If you just run straight up to the site and start flashing to and smoking to the right at the same time, catch the CTs off guard, and that was exactly what happened.
mTw are 4 frags away from victory. So they have picked themselves up 1. They will try again on that small site. Zonic's got the second frag. They're 3 away from glory as fnatic begin to crumble here. mTw look to close this one out. Sunder's looking to pick off anyone who may be moving around, and he could be oh so crucial. Archie's got him down, though. fnatic don't have too much in the way of weaponry, though. They've got 2 Famises, and is that a deagle? For ends, it's going to have to be individual excellence that gets fnatic through this one, and Khan's got that in a bundle as he gets 2 phenomenal frags. MJE comes in, drops AVE, gets the second one, and AVE's got the final 2 frags to win the game for mTw. 16-14, it went all the way down to the wire. fnatic gave as good as they had in that second half to pull it together, but you just look what it means to those Danes. What a performance.
Yeah, and I mean, the opening frag by Wimp on DSN there was so huge. I mean, I think that gave the whole round to mTw. Getting that, I don't know even he had an AWP or whatever he had, but just getting that headshot just made the entrance to the smallest bomb site so much easier. And so it was a huge clutch round by Wimp there, right there.
For fnatic, after what looked like a brilliant comeback, is it going to hurt just that much more?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they looked like really getting back into like the winning mentality that we know fnatic has, but it just wasn't enough after they didn't wake up as terrorists.
Well, your thoughts on that one? You predicted mTw to win, and by just 1 round, you were certainly right. They pushed forward. From fnatic's point of view, where do they go from here? Because Inferno's a map that they're very confident on. Will confidence now starting will confidence start to be seeping out of that team?
Yeah, I mean, mTw was looking really strong in CT, and even their terrorist play, I mean, at start they looked really good, and then I think just fnatic proved themselves to be a really good team. It wasn't mTw playing bad, it was just fnatic playing better at one point, and then mTw just got that bomb down on that eco round, and I think that just then when they could buy 2 rounds in a row, and they decided to go that smaller side and do that strategy that I really love, and it was just perfectly executed, and then they got that small side, and then winning that round, and then the last round, getting the opening frag on DSN there by Wimp, I mean, that gave them the whole round, and it was just amazing.
It was a fantastic match, and the man to put it into words will be Joe, as he's going to get a word with mTw. He is ready to rock and roll, and now we're going to grab a word with Joe.
Thank you, Tosspot. So I'm not going to pick out anyone in particular. I'm just going to go through the mTw team, because they are, as we said in the halftime, such a high-spirited team, lots of motivation to win, and I'm just going to try and grab in here. So, Sun, can we have a quick word? So a fantastic game there, and a big comeback by fnatic that almost went wrong for you guys.
Yeah, well, we lost 2 gun rounds, which is kind of becoming a habit for us now these days. So yeah, but they made a good effort coming back in the game, and we just barely managed to close the game in the last round.
Yeah, no, you've got to give your full credit to Wimp there for that last round, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So moving on from here, I'm not sure who you're playing next in the brackets. I'm sure you can tell me though.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, okay. So you will be moving on. Who are you hoping to face? Since you don't know, who would you like to see in the next round?
I don't know the results from yesterday. I know the result from yesterday. Mouse beat MIBR, but the other upper bracket matches we don't know yet. Rocket would be nice to face, I guess.
Would you rather face someone like Mouse Sports than one of the other teams like SK, who have been on a bit of a roll recently?
No, we don't fear SK.
You don't fear SK. So no fear for SK. Then we're going to try and grab a word with. Let's try and talk to fnatic. Actually, of course they lost that one, but we will try and have a quick word with Archie, seeing as though he's the last one over here. So I'm going to pick on you. I'm going to pick on you, my friend. So what happened?
I don't really know what to say. We didn't really play our A game as T side. We got pistol around, lost an echo, and then started losing consecutive rounds. And yeah, we basically lost the map on T side since we didn't get enough rounds.
So you move down now to the lower bracket, which is a place you've been before. Of course, last tournament in Montreal, you were able to come back and actually win it. So who are you hoping to face down in the lower bracket? I mean, again, I'm not sure on the brackets, but who would you like to see a game against?
Well, I always enjoy playing SK, so why not?
Yep. That's always an opportunity. How do you guys kind of pick yourselves up now? I mean, you're a team that was dumped out in LA. You came back and won Montreal. Now you're down in the lower bracket. How do you pick it up?
Well, we're used to playing from the lower bracket, so it's a place where we like to be, actually. It's fun to actually beat the teams out of the tournaments while beating them, and that's what we're going to do this same here.
So fnatic then will be going down to the lower bracket, thanks for that. And a fantastic game, which although one-sided in the first half, actually turned out rather fantastic. 16-14 in the end, and an almost amazing comeback from fnatic. It was just that last round which Wimp from mTw managed to hold on to win the round, and of course the game as well. So we are now in the upper bracket second round here at the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge in Dubai. Of course, over the last few days, we've seen the Digital Game World Championships, the local qualifier for this tournament, which were won by Assassin's List, who went out in the group stage here, as did all the local teams, actually. But now we are on to the real juicy stuff, of course, with the double elimination. So all the top teams, 8 of the top 10 teams in the G7 rankings are here. So we will be back very shortly. And actually, it's going to be a bit of a grudge match. Not between any of the teams, between me and Executor. He beat me yesterday on the Intel Racing Tour. I beat him the day before, and at FIFA, I have to say. And today I think it's my day to get revenge. So well, that'll be coming up a little bit later on, but for now we've got a video to recap yesterday.
What's...
How was your breakfast?
It was really shitty, actually.
Some MIBR players are in one server, some are in another, some aren't ready.
No, this is... Okay, I'm just... They're 1 minute later. I am on the real server, so you can see when the game starts.
But we've only got 4 players on the real server.
Yeah, so they're not going to start for another 10-15 minutes, probably.
But we can see on our right that MIM are setting up for their match against mTw, I'm guessing, seeing as they're still sat down and ready to go. MIM, mTw will be a fantastic game on the stage. But until that point, we really don't have a great deal to say. Maybe we can hijack the Intel Racing Tour and do that now. Just waiting on confirmation of that as...
We can't, but this is just stupid because we cannot cast this game when they will never finish before this game is ready, and if you're going to cast...
That's a good point. We are a little bit lost as to how we're going to play this one at the moment.
Point is, they will start the game at the same time. How can we cast this game if we're going to cast that game too?
You make a valid point. I'm sure someone will be forthcoming with instructions.
Working? Is it working now? I know. Is it working now?
We are not ready.